Hey, you beautiful beings. Welcome back to Empowered Human with Nina. I am your host, and this is a growth oriented podcast. We help you transform from powered to empowered here. And we help you own your truth courageously without invalidating yourself and without invalidating others. So, if that sounds like your jam, keep listening in. Yes. All month long, we were exploring the question, how can I level up emotionally? Yes. This has been a 4-part series, and you are listening to the 4th part. And you can listen to them all individually, but I guarantee you'll get more if you listen to them all together. Okay. So, the answer in a nutshell for today is we're going to be exploring emotional security as a part of the emotional security equation. What that means is that if you consider that emotional fitness plus emotional wealth equals emotional security, how secure you feel emotionally everywhere you go in the world at large, then that is what we're exploring today. Okay. Go ahead and grab a journal or a really good friend to dialogue with about what comes up for you in this episode, which again is number 4. If you are interested in learning about emotional landscape, that's number 1, super important. Number 2 is emotional fitness. 3 was emotional wealth. And of course, today is emotional security. So now that we've got that down, hopefully there is zero confusion out there as to your next best step. Grab that journal again, like I said, because of course, y'all, this is number 4. I'm ready. I am so curious. Are you ready to play? Let's take a breath on in and ground it out. Okay, yes, I want you to be present for this because we are wrapping it up on how do I level up emotionally, okay? Yes, if you have explored emotional landscape, my hat is out to you. If you have explored emotional fitness as a part of the equation, that's the emotional regulation skills and expression skills, right? It's your emotional skills that you have for you as an individual. We add in emotional wealth, which is about the emotional skills that you use with yourself and others in relationship. It's how you build emotional wealth. Yes, it says that you're intentionally investing emotionally in others and you're getting a particular return. Okay, that's building your emotional wealth. And when you are emotionally fit and emotionally wealthy consistently over time, it is hands down the greatest emotional security that you can feel everywhere you go. I hope that this makes sense in and of a nutshell. But I'm going to add something more because when we think about emotional security, if you say, you know what, Nina, I've leveled up. I feel emotionally fit. I feel emotionally strong, flexible, resilient. I feel emotionally fit. And you know what? I feel emotionally wealthy, Nina. I feel like I have a diverse portfolio of relationships and that I have different investments that give me different returns. I feel wildly wealthy, Nina. I say, great. How's your emotional security? Do you feel like you can really be yourself, like you can courageously exist as yourself everywhere you go without invalidating yourself and without invalidating others? Do you feel that way? Do you feel truly emotionally secure? That's the question of this hour, which is really not going to be an hour, just so we're clear, folks, right? This is a short episode. I like them to be like tea breaks, okay? So, with that said, here's how you're going to check in with your emotional security. We're going to dive straight into the skill, okay? With colored zones. Okay. Do you know how we talk about red flags, right? That's a green flag, that's a red flag. Okay. I want to give you the zones because a really emotionally secure person is going to be mostly in the green zone. Most of their time is going to be spent free flowing. They're going to be familiar with what's going on. And when something happens that's unfamiliar happens, they have the skills to deal with it. Why? Because they're emotionally fit, right? When they get knocked down, they can get back up and they have people to lean on. Why? Because they're emotionally wealthy. Okay. An emotionally secure individual has built up both internally and externally the emotional supports necessary to feel secure everywhere they go. That is a green zone individual. Okay. Yellow flags, yellow zone is anything that is different, okay? Anything that's different. If you're not used to it as a regular state of flow green zone thing, anything different gets a yellow flag. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It doesn't mean it's harmful necessarily, excuse me, but it does mean it's different and it could make you more vulnerable simply because it's different. I want you to yellow flag that. Nina, it's so soon. What if it could be green? It could be green, but I want you to yellow flag it simply because it's different. And I want you to see that. Yes, I want you to build self awareness. Self awareness, okay? So after you've yellow flagged things, okay, you say, okay, well, there was more colors. There are. An orange flag are things that have been felt off or different for an extended period of time. Okay. You've had it happen more than once. It's been there, it's sitting, and it makes you feel uncomfortable. That's now an orange zone. If you feel really uncomfortable for an extended period of time, that's an orange flag. We want to figure out how to get you back into the yellow and back into the green. Red, last but certainly not least, is your crisis moments. These are things that actually lead to harming you or somebody else. These are things that need to be dealt with immediately. We might have to call the police. We might have to bring in a professional. These are things that need to be dealt with immediately so that you can be safe emotionally, right? And certainly physically and more, but emotionally safe as well as those around you, okay? Quick break for a sec. If Empowered Human is offering you something valuable about courage, healing, belonging, or love at your core, you may want to work with me. In particular, if you know of or identify as a high achieving man, and I say this quite seriously because if you don't, I'm going to drive you up a friggin' wall. High achiever that has leveled up in every arena except your relationship with yourself or your relationships with others. Visit empoweredhuman.love for more on how you can level up in your relationships with one of our Empowered Human intensives. Intensives understand the value of your time. Of the 3 that I offer, Walk into Courage covers a month's worth of weekly sessions in just 2 hours. Dive into Courage is a 3-day intensive that can cover up to 6 months worth of sessions. And Ascend into Courage is a year-long program to give you the skills and the network you need to level up for lifelong emotional security. When it comes to leveling up in your relationships, I got you. Head to empoweredhuman.love for more, but for now, back to the episode. These are the different zones that I want you to think of when you say, how secure do I feel? Because if you constantly feel like you're in the red, friend, I don't know if your emotional security is as secure as it can be. I wonder, can we enhance our emotional fitness? Can we enhance our emotional wealth? Only you can tell me that. If you find that you're constantly in the orange, I would say, sounds like we need some skills for some harm disruption and to bring you back down to even learn what being in the yellow is like, just being slightly off, right? And I hope you would be open to those skills. And the same thing, I would say, is this more emotional fitness or more emotional wealth? Usually it's a little bit of both. And then, of course, if we can bring you back into the yellow, all we need then is a protocol to help you get back into the green. And the sooner you can recognize the yellow, the less likely you are to move into orange and red. And those is just the facts, okay? I want you to start to play with your emotional security by Adventure Challenge now, asking yourself, do I feel emotionally secure? Most of the time, some of the time, a little bit of the time, or not at all. That is what I want you to explore when you think about your emotional security. And if it's anything other than fabulously green and wildly wealthy, if you're feeling any discomfort, anything that is not green zone, I want you to flag that. It doesn't mean something's wrong. It just means something is slightly off from what you expect. It doesn't mean something is wrong. So, without further ado, that is your adventure challenge. Ask yourself, are you as emotionally secure as you can be? And if not, could you explore adding skills to your emotional fitness? Could you explore adding skills to your emotional wealth? What could shift in your emotional landscape that can help you feel more emotionally secure over time? Because, yes, I do believe that you deserve that. I believe that you deserve to be able to own your truth everywhere you go without invalidating yourself and also without invalidating others. And I know that we can do that because I see it happen with my clients every day. And I live an empowered human life every day. So that is what I plan for you today, folks. I hope that this series has been so helpful for you. Please tag me at Empowered with Nina or DM me on Instagram or TikTok so that I can see what is changing in your life as you accept these adventure challenges and as you level up emotionally at work, in your personal life, with strangers on the street. What is shifting for you and as you level up emotionally? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for listening in. I so look forward to speaking and sharing more with you all soon. That's it for now. Bye.